I'm chasing shadows in the night. Words echo silent where I hide. Every mirror shows a stranger's eyes, searching for the part of me that's mine. But the sky ignites a spark inside, burning down to wait. In the ashes of my fight, truth is born again. I won't rise up like a phoenix from the flame. Find my voice and call out your name. From the roots of what I used to be, I'll embrace the truth and set it free. Blinded by the weight of all my fears, I let them break me, shape my day. Every scar's a testament to life. Now I rewrite the story in my mind. Yeah, feel the fire burning. I'm no longer turning away from the truth that's calling. I'm alive today. All I used to be. Rise up free, rise where and set me free. Rising high, Phoenix, watch me go.
Brian is innocent. Brian has been essentially convicted in the media. He has a right to have this information withheld, brought out in public, so that people can see it's not this neat little package. So people can start to wonder if Brian's innocent. Your Honor, Brian is innocent. So if I talk about things that are in the affidavit, and if I talk about things that we're seeking that the state wants to hide, I think that's fair game for the public to hear.
Fair game, fair game, fair game. Nothing shocks me in this case because every single day I read something different. I see something new. Someone sends me something. Someone tries to lead me down a trail which I refuse to go down. And then all of a sudden, bam, you get a thought and you're like, how wild could this possibly be? You know, this is Phoenix Talks. I'm your host, Phoenix. We talk about open-minded, above all the rumors. And I'm just at a loss for words today, folks. Because with open minds, every question matters, every angle's welcome. So if this sounds like you, welcome home. If you're asking those questions, why does this not make sense? So, Lulu Bell, you are so amazing. Thank you. Friday, a little extra for donuts. Well, how about scones? I don't do scones. I don't do donuts, but I will do scones. And I make them. So thank you, Lulu Bell. I appreciate that. That's just amazing. Thank you so much. Tomorrow, don't forget, I'm going to do a special Saturday live, and everything that is donated or gifted will go directly to the mods. We are going to end this month on a big bang. Huge. So thank you, Lulu Bell. Greatly appreciate that. And if you're wondering why you're here on Phoenix Talks when you could be on any other channel right now looking at somebody else's, videos, theories, questionable, whatever. I really thank you from the bottom of my heart. I really do. There's 4751, whatever in here right now, and there should be about the equivalent of likes. So if you're not here, you're probably trolling. So keep on scrolling because we're keeping this chat safe. We're keeping it real. And we are looking at the actual documents. But here is what I'm thinking. And you may not think with me, and that's okay. What I'm about to give you may knock you off your feet. And I think it was sent to me for a reason. So let me ask you, are you guys in for maybe a little mystery question? Drop a 1 if you're in for a mystery question on this Friday. Drop a 1 if you're open-minded to anything and we could talk about it. All right. I'm going to see how many people really want this mystery question, because it's going to get hot. Remember, I'm not here to slander or harm the reputation of any person alive or deceased or any entity. All individuals are presumed innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. Viewers are encouraged to conduct their own research, draw their own conclusions. Here we just talk. And we are talking about a possible theory. So how many of you think with me, like-minded, that you believe this was some type of cover-up? Drop a 1. I'm going to drop some fireballs. You guys may hate me after today, but then I'm going to walk you through it and kind of guide you to what is based on evidence and science. It's a very sensitive mystery question. And this is to walk you through this. All right. Do you think it's possible that someone slipped Xana and Ethan a Mickey at whatever party they were at? Do you think it's possible? Drop a 1 if you think it's possible. And hello, we've got some new members in here. Rhonda M1255, welcome into the nest. Becca, hello. Lulu Bell, you rock. Jackie, good to see you. No talkie before coffee. Good to see everyone in here. Brenda, Victoria, Terry, OGs are in the house. Loving it. Donna, Rosa, Marissa, the answer is yes. I'll send you that in an email. Sleuthy Kitty, I love your name. Get out there and get it. Art Seagal in the house. Dina in the house. Misinformation Wicca Wicca. Good to see you, honey. I hope you're doing good. Misinformation 1, welcome back. Tink Mama, love you, girl. Essie, welcome in. Okie dokie Lisa in the house. Scones Rock, mail me some. If you're in Arizona, I'll mail you some. Send me an email. And as I get over this horrible cough, at least it's working itself out. Tons of herbal teas, good, healthy soups with ginger, turmeric, garlic. Yum. A little bit of chicken. All right. So get this. You know, they often get slipped one in Jell-O shots. Yeah, high levels. Don't you think now you guys are number 1 at the party where they were at? Yeah, I'm looking at this autopsy and I'm thinking to myself, someone slipped them more than just a Mickey, folks. Okay, it was more than just a doozy. I mean, I've got the redacted documents and unredacted documents, and I'm looking at their blood alcohol levels and the amphetamines that were in their system. Yes, folks, it's in there. And when I started breaking it down, I was like, wait, what? Okay, and this is the reason I'm talking about this. Someone sent me a message. Is it possible that Ethan committed the murders and then unalived himself based on Eric Gower's statement to the police? Is it possible? Is it possible that Ethan could have had a psychotic event? Yes, he did have a lot of stress on him, and this is all hypothetical. We're allowed to think out loud. We are allowed to think out loud. It is a safe place. Okay? It is a very safe place to talk about anything. But I'm going to give you the reasons why it may not be. Okay? So, no sedative, but somebody may have drugged him. Well, amphetamines and alcohol don't mix very well, and it can cause some psychological effect. But I'm going to break it down a little bit more to why this could possibly be and possibly not be what happened. Because let's think about it. Exactly, Stefan. Now, for those of you who know, there is a contradiction with THC, amphetamines, alcohol, yada, yada, yada. You could go through a psychosis. And nobody ever thinks about these things until something happens and then somebody wigs out and they go on a spree. But is it possible that here's the logic, folks? Here's the logic in this. And I'm glad somebody else said it and I didn't, because they sent me a message. Do you think Ethan could have done this? I'm going to line it all up for you. And let's talk about all the anomalies and all of the coincidences and all the things that don't make sense. Could it have been Ethan's brother? Well, they possibly would share some DNA. Absolutely. Has anyone seen anything from Ethan's brother's statements, interviews, anything of that nature? Has anyone seen anything to date? I asked for, under a FOIA, I asked for it. I definitely asked for it. And Marissa, anyone can go into it, even on regular meds. If you take some meds to help you sleep at night and you take something else for depression, it can happen to anybody. You could have a serotonin syndrome statement going on, right? There's any possible reason, because look at Ethan for 1 second. Let's take a look only at Ethan. Forget Brian Koberger, forget Dylan and her dad, forget all these rumors going on out there, and let's give them the benefit of the doubt. Okay, I'm going to put your comments up here because we're really going to talk about this today. Okay, it is a very scary thing to go into a psychosis. Very scary. Now, this is exactly why when someone asked me that, I said, well, is this possible? Ethan was under a lot of stress. Remember, he got kicked out because of academically at Sigma Chi, right? Him and Xana were dating. They looked like they had a really good, comfortable relationship. Was somebody jealous of that? Maybe they didn't have what Ethan had. Ethan was the oldest in all the siblings of triplets. And when you start looking at the evidence, I mean, guys, it's very clear that perhaps there's more than meets the eye. And this is why the Chapins have been so far removed, in my humble opinion. They have been out of the loop, not been in court, not all of a sudden they're spokespeople for Othram. What's the agenda there? Is there an agenda? What could it possibly be? Think about all the things that have happened in this case and all the people that have come out of the woodwork in 3 years trying to derail you, distract you. And think about the one thing that WSU was doing, criminal profiling. And all of a sudden we have a lawsuit against WSU. Okay, now let's think about this logically. I don't think it was Hunter either. I don't think it was Ethan either. Could it have been Hunter? Possibly. Possibly. It could have been anyone, but who really was it? In this cover-up, is there another cover-up? Because there are some things that need to be taken a look at. And we're going to do that right now. So deep breath. I know that it could break some of your hearts. But I mean, look at the lies that have been told in this case, these silly, stupid little lies that are now being confronted with evidence, photos that have been released. People are paying attention. People are watching. People are watching this case because something didn't sit right. Yes, I believe Brian was the patsy. I believe he was an easy target to blame this on. Is he involved in this cover-up? I don't know. But it shows that Brian wasn't even in the area. He wasn't even stalking him. He didn't even know him. He knew of him after the crimes, went undetected for weeks, went on a family vacation. The most wanted guy in the country. just skates by and drives by everyone, goes on a nice vacation, and then they go and arrest him at his house in Pennsylvania. Okay? Now, I've been looking closely at DNA from the actual documents that were released. And most of this is all transfer DNA with Maddie and Kaylee. So where were they attacked? Most of this, again, is all transfer DNA, which means they were already probably passed out, injured, unalive possibly, and then laid in their beds. It's diluted blood. Diluted. And where was most of this at? In the hallway, downstairs. Was someone trying to get in? Here's the mystery question. If the killer was in Ethan and Xana's room and there's no shoe prints leaving, how did the killer get out and the window was locked? I feel like this is some mystery, one of those questions that they ask. Now, Ethan's blood under Maddie's nails, that was DNA. And it was a high level of DNA, not just coal from maybe perhaps touching and DNA at the grub truck, but Ethan's. Why was it Ethan's? How close was Ethan and Maddie? And Xana, why was Ethan's nails underneath Xana? I know they're close, and they probably were together, but with Xana's injuries and fighting for her life, yes, she is probably the only one that fought. The only one that fought, in my humble opinion. Let me get to this picture that I wanted to show you. I looked over it late last night. I was up early this morning and I wrote my notes, and God knows where I left them because I didn't have my notebook with me. And I'm looking at these DNA under the girl's nails. Where's the DNA from Maddie? Can someone tell me why we don't see DNA from Maddie? Some of these reports are definitely missing. Remember, they said plainly Ethan didn't live there. Ethan didn't live there, and they didn't know he was there. But when Eric Gower dropped the girls off, Ethan's Jeep wasn't there. So who had Ethan's Jeep? When did Ethan's Jeep get back? All these little questions and all these stains had to be corrected. Yes, folks, even the DNA had to go back and they had to correct and amend them because of the results. And I started thinking, why didn't they check other DNA that were there? Because here's the deal. Prosecutors say one thing, experts say one thing, the defense is saying one thing. Everyone's trying to make their story jive. And there is back and forth with these experts saying, no, this is what happened. No, this is what happened. No, what really happened? I think it was covered up what really happened. And here is one of the reasons that I really thought maybe it was Ethan until I looked a little further into this. Because you have to remember, the prosecution is legally required to tell the defense and the court who their experts are, what each expert will say, the science that they rely on, and the conclusions that they reached. That's their playbook for trial. And since it didn't go to trial, if something's not listed in that playbook, it usually can't be let into trial. That's what motion in limites are for. They don't want to use this at trial, so they're limiting the evidence. I'm going to reference the one where I'm going to talk about mainly why about the amphetamines with Xana and Ethan. So the blue powder that was tested was amphetamines, S6. So let me run over to S6 real quick. It does happen. It does happen. And why would somebody want to hide that this was an accident or something that I mean, think about the latest movie that you've seen. I think it was probably Pretty Little Liars. What a freaking twist at the end of that story. How many of people have seen Pretty Little Liars? You know, something else had me thinking yesterday, the testimony or the statement that the girl, I forget the nice sheet, forget all of that. I want to get to S6 because this tells a whole different story. Come on. Bear with me. It's going fast. Transfer stains. Now, the reason you have transfer stains is somebody's blood is there. So if Maddie and Kaylee even had transfer stains way down at the bottom of the door, somebody must have came in the front door all the way down where Bethany and Dylan were, went up the stairs all the way up to the 3rd floor. Were they the actual targets? I don't know. Was it 2 people? It had to have been more than 2. Because now you got to question, how did all these stains get there? And you know what? There is a creator out there that has a theory of their own, which, I mean, it does make a little bit of sense to me. Let me get the video for you. Because I looked at it and I thought, I wonder how accurate this just may be. Now, I'll have to cut this segment out, but that's okay. I want you guys to see this video if you haven't seen it. I'm sure some of you have. If you're coming over from the TikTok streets, you probably have seen this video. And this makes sense. Only available but not available. How many of you seen this? Drop a 1. This is wild, but it makes sense.
Looks like the banister was used as some kind of lever. It's the only mixed DNA of even plus unknown, then put onto the table. Note that the table is bent downwards under a heavy load, transported into Xana's room onto the bed. That's why you got the stains here. And they're across because of the upper movement. Same with Kaylee and Maddie. But looks like bound together at the end of the banister and up into Maddie's room. That's why you got the mixed DNA of Katie and Maddie here, and the stains downwards. Wrapped in some kind of plastic tarp like here, which were located here at the dumpster near the white. Just need to use a small staircase where no cameras are visible, and you're directly at the front door of Homer's King Room. Xana seems to be the only person who was still alive after the transport. That's why you don't got 4-person mixture. That's why you don't got red fluid, shoe print, trails leaving the house, because all of the red fluid spots and stains came from the transportation. Seems like the experimental wound happened after they were dropped off in their bag, so it should look like that everything happened inside the 112 King Road house, and they could easily use their phone to throw the timeline off.
What do you think about that? I mean, they put it in a really quick, easy way. I mean, crazy, maybe, but some of this makes sense. How were they able to get passwords? They were all there written down in their books. Was this a robbery? What were they looking for? Did they stage it to look like a robbery? Because nothing looked stolen. Did you guys see the evidence? All the evidence, folks, contained laptops, cell phones. Nothing of value was taken out of there. I don't believe in all the flushing of drugs and all this stuff. That's just rumors and hearsay. There's nothing to prove that part. There's nothing. It makes sense, but where I'm getting this is from documents. Documents, and then you have to look at the behavior of parents. Behavior of parents. Where, and no one's asking this question, where'd the Adderall come from? Did it come from the frats, allegedly? Did somebody at the frats slip them a big one? Because here's the deal. If you have a huge stimulant level in your system, it affects flight or fight. It affects wakefulness, blood patterns, defensive wounds. If you have that much in your system, in plain English, I'm just going to tell you, it means that you are legally drunk and highly stimulated. He couldn't have been asleep, but the combination is kind of like a stimulant and a depressant at the same time, which is very dangerous. What does it do? It makes you react slower, lose balance more easily, feel less pain initially. But guess what it does also? Alcohol thins your blood. And it makes, with the stimulant, it makes you bleed more. So when you start looking at Ethan's blood level, what does that tell you? That he bled more. It was his blood underneath in the room. Totally 100%. Amphetamine affects your functioning like alertness, heart rate, blood pressure, aggression, fight response, vasco, constriction, pain perception, energy. It means that his energy would be elevated, pain reduced, blood vessels tighten, like you're angry. It would make you really strong. It would increase your aggression. It would raise your blood pressure. Your heart rate goes faster, and your alertness is very increased. So Ethan would be wired, alert, and physically capable of fighting. He would be. It would be very dangerous. That's a dangerous mixer. A downer and an upper, that is dangerous. Makes you feel less drunk, probably gives you like a give up body quickly. Amphetamine forces blood out faster. That's why probably bled more. Adrenaline surges. He might have kept even being moved after being stabbed, folks. That's the body's response. And why does this matter? Why does it matter? Blood sprays further, bleeding lasts longer, blood pools faster, more blood splatters. And that took place in the room, as you can see. It can make your heart stop, absolutely, especially if he was coming down. Especially. And this whole truck, the 1:15 a.m. truck. What else is the 1:15 a.m.? Eric Gower logs off. I mean, there's a lot of details if you just break it all down, if you start looking at it. So let's just say that Ethan was attacked. His blood would travel farther, more cast off, impact, splatter, secondary transfer. There would be more secondary transfer of Ethan's, and there wasn't. Why does it matter? It means it would be in the hallways, Anna's room, shoe print, handrail, latent stains. With a back of 0.12, you're not asleep. And with an amphetamine level of 260, it's not a deep sleep. It's not even deeply asleep. You are like on a speed round, easily waken, easy to fight. And that supports all the noise, the movement, the struggle, the defensive wounds. It's not silent. So he was, physiologically, he was primed to fight, bleed heavy, and stay mobile. Blood patterns could show you some movement, and he wasn't moving in the room. Wasn't moving. So the time and the positions are all wrong. Those things don't match. So if I was to say, let's try to reconstruct Ethan's movements, I don't think we could have. I don't think we can. Because we don't have the full scene measurements. Not all the photos are there. See, it's scientifically grounded reconstruction, and they're not giving us that. But the more information we get over time, the more we're likely to figure it out. Both girls probably tried to restrain Ethan at some point, hence DNA under their fingernails. Wow. So if a fight broke out, let's just say, hypothetically, a fight broke out and the girls were all present and they tried to stop a fight. Possible, yes. Very possible. And I don't understand this either. I don't understand this. If it was my child, I would be fighting for answers. And every time I think of Ethan, I think of Hunter and the gambling golf stories. Absolutely. He was the irresponsible one. He lived on the seat of his pants. He lived to party. He was the fun guy. Everyone liked Ethan. Very big possibility. How do we know? We don't know. But the information that still comes out, we look at it. We look at it and we say, how could this have happened? You know, men are more aggressive than a lot of women out there. I don't want to sound sexist or anything, but more men. There are women who are very angry. I mean, if you were on a upper and a downer at the same time, that would definitely cause some issues. I mean, he would be more likely to attempt movement, defense, but stumble, collapse unpredictably, right? I've seen people like that out before. And if there was some sudden trigger response to like a threat, a noise, an entry, attack, that triggers a jolt. He would have woke up fast. Yeah, you would go from down to up very fast. You would sit up quickly, roll, pivot. You would be in a fight position, feet on the floor. Even if he was in the bed, the first move would be toward the source. If someone was coming at you, you would turn towards the source. So you would see like disturbed bedding, position consistent with a rapid pivot. There was none. Small transfers of blood transfer on fabric if he was bleeding immediately. So let's do this. If the window was locked in Xana's bedroom, which we know by the evidence it was locked, do you think the killer went out the door? How did the killer get out? How did the killer get out? That's the mystery question. How did the killer get out with not leaving any feet prints, leaving Xana in Ethan's room? I mean, could that even be a possibility? I still go back to the truth that Ethan Chapin was a victim, not a suspect, not involved in harming anyone, and was likely trying to protect Xana or respond to the attack. Blaming him is just not supported. It's forensically impossible. When you look at the forensic reports, it's impossible. I mean, it was a good thought process that this individual sent me this. Very good exercise. Every single possibility and theory was probably looked at. Yes, Amanda, and this is what I went back to. The expert says there was cleanup. The experts. Now, mind you, Every expert is going to say what they think based on their experience. Every expert will say. And some people are saying the latter. Her window was locked. Did somebody lock the window behind them? And let me grab this photo. Let me just grab this photo. There is a photo of the actual footprint by the door and batch 4 of these photos. Let me grab it. And it's a partial print. But we still don't know which way the print was traveling. Up or down. Has anybody figured that one out? Yeah, I feel you. I feel you on that, expert. Yeah, it was right outside, second floor, that can see right outside the window. Wasn't Hunter the last one to leave and the first one there the next morning? Who's to say he didn't spend the night in the house? Ooh, that's a possibility. Anything is possible. We are just theorizing. Exactly. Here's another one. All right, let me get the picture of the foot. Sorry, of the shoe, the latent print of the shoe. And I think I'm out of water. Dang it. It is still trying to load. You know, there's like 2,000 and something pictures. I shut it down last night, but I should have left it up. Bethany and DM's window were both unlocked, and Bethany conveniently had a stepladder right in front of hers. And if you looked at the pictures of DM's back window, there was a cement block that could have been used to come in and out of that window. All right. That is there too. They said Johnson's friends were laughing about using both doors speculation. Using both doors. Why? Because that means that there's more than one? If they use both doors? I mean, clearly, yesterday, Steve said they. The assailants may have threatened, absolutely, to clean up everything outside in the 2 bedrooms so they would come back for them and their families. It's possible. They look scared. Ethan didn't do it. I think you may have been misled on purpose. Absolutely, Susan. And this is a valid point. There are people out there trying to misdirect creators. They are trying to lead them down stupid rabbit holes. And that's why we logically think about what's being said. Oh, you are a sweetheart, a doll, and a scholar. Thank you, sweetheart. Yippee, my husband brought me some water. I was surprised how close it was to her room. Yeah, let me grab. It is still waiting to download. Dang, these pictures. There's a lot here. Let me see if I can find it online real quick. Idaho 4 pictures of shoe latent print. Let me see if I can just grab it real quick because it's still trying to load. Oh, where is it at? Shoe latent print. And how come we didn't see any of the prints in the snow? What was up with that? Why have we not seen any of those? I mean, they do mention it several times in the videos. How come we don't see any of those shoe prints? Let me see if I can find one real quick. It's taken forever. I think I would have screenshot that. I think I did. Hold on. Right outside the door. Where are you at? I can't believe no one's talked about the shoe print. Where in the world is this print? Oh, here's another thing I wanted to talk about too. It just triggered my mind when I saw this picture. These pictures are still loading, folks. Let me see if I've got it in my repository here. Let's see if I downloaded that. One shoe print. Why is that so slow? It's trying to open all these. That's why. Crud. I should have downloaded it before I got it. This is other what depressant with Addie. The reason I would think because the related ones. Yes, absolutely, Wicca Wicca. I have seen this left and right for the last couple of years. Left and right. The black truck at 1:15. Yeah, Dylan says she's seen the black truck. She looked outside and saw the black truck. What black truck was she referring to? Was she referring to the Explorer being moved and the Jeep being pulled in? Is that even possible? And Ethan had 2 autopsies. Yes. Yes. Absolutely. That is a very good point, Gypsy. He did. Yep. You're not done, Susan. You're so close. I hear you. I've wondered about it. Would it show up? And why was the Chapins like with Othram? And yes, it's him. It's him. I know you're only speculating. We're not trying to solve this. We're just looking at the evidence, theorizing. Does that theory make sense? Is there some way that it could be physically done? Except for DNA. I've not seen any. There's no physical, and this was on page 38 of 88 in regards to cast off. Okay. And it basically said there's no physical indicate that Kaylee, Maddie, and Xana or Ethan were in this location after sustaining their bloodletting injuries. They weren't there after. They weren't there. So how did they get there? How did they get there? I think the expert's still trying to figure that one out, unless this was just a true massive cover up. Now, it says there was, let me do a search in this and see if I can find this in the shoe print. Hold on. Let me see if I can do a search. Where am I at? Will this let me do a search? No, why not? Tools, find, shoe and tire impressions. What did it say about shoe coverings? Latent. Okay, hold on one second. Let me see if this is downloaded yet. Nope. Okay, so I'm going through these pictures and I just don't see. I know it's in here. I definitely know it's in here. Hold on. There's no footprints leading outside of the door. So how would they get out? How would they get out? Let me look. There was only one picture, I believe, in here. Let me see. It's not in this room. They don't talk about any prints other than by Dylan's door. And we still have to do a part 3 to go through the rest of these photos. Let me see. Those are not French fries on the floor. I don't know why everybody keeps saying they are. It looks like tissue, absolutely, but I didn't want to get too graphic. Let me see. Somebody stamped something on there. There were no latent prints. Where is this picture? Come on. I should have wrote down the number. I think it was 20 something. And I just have to give a disclaimer. Some of these are very graphic, guys. I'm not trying to go through all of these. I'm just trying to find the footprint. The footprint one. Okay, let me see. There was no latent prints. I mean, don't you think the experts would have asked how the killer got out of this room? I don't know why they show this one over and over again. Just tried to, let me look and see if it has second bedroom. Bedroom 2, bedroom 3, 4. Bedroom 5. House interior. Maybe it's up here. And they sure took horrible pictures from below. They should have had the aerial video that I took off of this website. We don't see any analysis of the freaking footprints in the snow. There's the note. I think it had Maddie, not die. It says M-A-D-D-I-E. It was folded in half. And let me look. Where is that print? So who do you think is going to try to put all this together and figure out the movements of what happened? That is the table unredacted, folks. I don't know if you guys have ever seen that. Diluted by what they say is water or alcoholic beverages or some type of beverage. There were stains in the kitchen. They had mentioned seeing them in the sink. It was all there, folks. It was all there. Okay, it was on the side of the table. Maybe transfer, like only available, not available, has in his video. There was on the cart. It was behind the cart. Maddie. There were boxes that looked like they were going to be moving. Somebody was moving in or out. Maybe storage. That is the drywall they removed from the room. Everybody kept saying, oh, that looks like something. That is the drywall that was removed from the room. I know we didn't go through these. That is some of the things that they removed from the house. That is part of the print. Let me just see if it's Gray shirt from the second floor dryer. Crocs from the second floor bathroom. They took all this stuff. All the testing that they took. There's the floor, second floor, bedroom floor. Okay, here's the actual second floor, bedroom floor. Now, there was another picture that was in here. Partial print. This is 189 of 2790. Second floor, more of the bedroom. More of the amino black. More. Dusting of prints, which we know that's latent 5 print. I'm looking for that dang shoe picture. Amanda, did you have it and send it to me? Hold on. Let me look at my messages. Okay, yet again. Okay. Okay, hold on one second. Let me see. Wow, they sure tested everything in there, huh? What a mess. I'm going to find that. Well, in between all this, we're going to be looking at these pictures. A garment steamer. Was that what she thought she saw was a garment steamer? Yeah, I bet. I bet. Y'all are spot on. Thanks for bearing with me. I'm going to find that print. I don't know what direction it was going. They never said. Was it going up or down? And there was only one. So what's up with that? Maybe someone stepped in the blood, but it was by the second floor. So how is that possible? What was that? 25. I'll look at 25. Hold on. Let me just take a look at this real quick. And remember, my lives are unscripted. It's with Dylan's room pictures. That's what I thought. Hold on. But what room did they label hers? Hold on, let me look. 6. Here it is. Duh. 6. They labeled her 6. I don't know why they didn't label them in order. It would be 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, let's see. Let's see. Why'd she have a Washington driver's license? And an Idaho. Why'd she have 2? Okay, hold on. The latent print is L4. Right here. Let me see if I can get a better picture. L4. There it is. So which direction do you think this is going? Let me... Let me see if it gives me any type of feedback and what direction this latent print is going. It's a shot in the dark, but I'm going to try it. Let's just see what it says. Now, well, that's processing for me. I'm going to show you this picture, folks. And does anybody remember yesterday? I know we go from day to day. Does anybody remember yesterday? That's the latent print. Hold on. Okay. From this visible photo, the latent print is traveling diagonally downward toward the right. So was this shoe coming from the stairs or the bedroom? Let's see what it says. Motion transfer goes left to right, slowly downward. Left to right. So if that is left to right, someone or something moved left, right across this threshold. What? It can't tell us where they were coming from, the stairs or the bedroom. This image tells us someone or something moved left to right across this threshold. That's what it says. They move left to right across the threshold. Left to right. Wow. Let me see what other pictures. They moved left to right. Across the threshold. So where's all the other prints? Did they test inside this bedroom? Why is there 50 million pictures of this? Left to right. Left to right would go out. What? Left to right. And it stops there. Where's all the other prints? I'm so confused about this one. Left to right. Where did they go? Out the window? Left to right. There was the blanket that they grabbed. The shoe went left to right. Who cleaned up? Who freaking cleaned up? If that shoe print was a latent shoe print, who in the heck cleaned up? They did take their shoes off, but where? And who cleaned up? Whose little shoes are those? Those are little shoes. Those aren't big shoes. Whose shoes are those? Left to right. I'll have to look at this. I have to think about this one for a minute. One hot second. Let me think about this. Left to right. I wonder if they took that rug. I wonder if they took the rug into evidence. Wow. I guess that's something I need to think about. Hopefully no one will send me a new theory and be like, look, this is what happened. Left to right. Are those new curtains? She probably moved in August. Some things were knocked down. A dustpan. A plant was knocked over, wasn't it? Look at the dirt on the back wall, the little ledge. That plant was knocked over, wasn't it? Look at right here. The dirt from the plant. Was the plant knocked over? Go back to the closet. What do you want me to do, Amanda? Go back to the closet. Yeah, I saw this shirt on the ground. I thought it was, red stuff, but it looked like maybe, look at that. What is that? A rug rolled up? What is that? A blanket? A tarp? Something's rolled up. Go back to the closet. That rug. Let me go back to the closet. What'd you see in the closet? The shirt on the ground? That one? There's something red on the cloth. Yeah, I see that. Let me blow it up. Hold on. Let me see what it is. I thought it was just like a paint shirt, maybe. I'm sure somebody would have said something about it. Yeah, it looks like paint. Like a shirt you paint with or something, or it has designs on it. It looks too bright to be recent. It's probably paint. Yeah, I'm thinking it's paint. Or else it would have been, if somebody saw that, they would have been like, look, go get that shirt, get it in evidence, we're going to test it. But I wonder if this rug was ever tested. And that plant looks like it was knocked over at some point. And the detective, oh my God, hold on a minute. Hold on 1 second. Where is her interview? Hold on. The freaking detective knew. Where is her interview? Hold on. She's got 3 or 4 of them. Let me find the right one. Hold 1 second. Hold on. It wasn't the first interview. I think it was the 30th interview. My notes. Oh my goodness. It was with Joe Lake. Hold on. I made a note of this. It was with Tollison. One of the detectives mentions the plant. Hold on a minute. Hold on. Let me grab this interview. I remember. Yes, exactly. The plant. He does ask her. I remember he asked her about the plant being knocked over. What was her response? The dirt, right? The dirt of the plant. That definitely looks like dirt on the ledge underneath that shelf. And some things were probably knocked over. It definitely looks like dirt. It just triggered my mind. I remember the detective asked about that question. He asked about the plant, like somebody went out her window. Is that even possible? I mean, I'm not trying to put anything into words, but the detective asked her about that specific plant. He asked, let me find it. It's going to eat me up until I find it. But there's a dustpan there. Does it look like dirt is missing from the plant? Was it knocked over? It does look like right there. Yes, it does. Look at right by this dustpan. There's dirt there. There's dirt on the backside, and there's a towel. This plant has dirt too. Let me run over there and grab this video. I think this is it. Let me see if this is the one. This might be it.
That have even a 90% recollection of what actually happened, even though they're all literally staring at it. So I don't want you to beat yourself up. Don't. I don't want you to second guess what you did or anything else. You have been probably one of the most cooperative people I've ever worked with, in the sense of the totality of the interviews after interviews after interviews, submitting your prints and old Gary here getting you covered in ink, right?
Yeah.
But we're truly grateful. We're grateful you're still here. All right, because without you and being able to fill in some of these gaps for us, it would have made everything a lot harder for us.
So I always like to end it with, is there something that we didn't ask you that we should have asked you that you've wanted to tell us about this incident, no matter what it is?
I don't think so. I'm trying to think if there's anything. I don't think there is. I think I've told you like every single thing I can think of. And obviously like after I've tried to help bring back some memories, and the only thing I can remember was the footsteps. That was like the only new thing I can remember, which really freaked me out after, because she had like tried to put me in. She just told me like your nervous system will not let you open it up. And I've wanted to and I've tried to, just so if there was anything else, I could give it to you guys so you guys could like figure it out faster. That was like my main thing, was trying to figure it out. But it's like I can't get to it at all. Like my mind won't let me.
So if that does come to you, tell so we can have that information. That would be, anything is helpful.
Okay.
Because we don't know what we don't know.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I don't know if I thought you should ask away. They might not be able to, if you guys want to turn the recorders off or on, but I think.
Was there anything that you wanted to clarify or cover on any of the responses to the questions while we're still on record?
The only, obviously, the other interviews, anything that she didn't say today were with the other interviews. So you guys know the answers, and obviously I know you're not looking for more, or else I'd say you need to tell them that part too, because you said it, but you guys know all that. So
We do.
if you're not asking specific questions about that, then.
No. I'm going to end audio recording at 12:45 p.m.
Address for you. Okay. Okay, where is Kaylee's room compared to yours?
Like right above my
Straight
shoes.
up. What are you
Let
on
me
the first
see if
second?
I can find the transcript. You think it was the second interview? This was the first. So she's 5'10". So let me see. You guys think it was the second interview? Because this is the first interview. Let me find the second interview. That's the first. I remember she did say something about the plant. So this was, let me see if it's in the transcript. Hold on. I think Plunder has it. Is it with Blaker and Gooch? I know it was with Plunder. Hold on. Was it with Blaker and Gooch? Let me see. This is the first. Oh, it was audio only, wasn't it? I think it was.
Champagne right off the bat.
I think it's this one.
What formal is?
So
like a ball.
Let me
kind of
see.
like that. Me and my friend ended up not going formal. We went to his house and then
See if
just
I can
came back
find
home
anything
and
that
kept drinking and partying at my house. And then it was like more of a smaller party. It was people that we were closer to, just mostly not like everyone else.
They came to your house?
Yeah.
Who was in your house that night? On the night of on the Friday night. You're saying the
So
Friday night.
obviously all the roommates, Ethan and like nothing weird at all, nothing bad at all.
What were the plans for Saturday night?
There was a lodge party, that's where we went to later that night. That was the main plan. Was like, okay, it's party tonight. Like those are normally the most fun parties, which is like you want to go to all those pretty much.
And all of you were going? All the roommates were?
So usually when you're a senior, you tend to go to the clubs more than the fraternity parties. That's just like the nature of it. Maddie she did go with us for a little bit, but ended up going home to go with Kaylee to the club. Hey, do you want to go to is one of Xana's best friends. We met through Xana. And she was I guess she was at the house. She has two roommates. One of them I know was there and they were just having, I think there's like 5 or 6 people total at the house, and it's like a 5-minute walk from my house. So I remember telling me, and like, do you want to go later? We just called it. They ended up staying, so me and ended up walking there. It's like a 5-minute walk as with him. We go in there, it's obviously me,
Connor.
best friend.
She mentions Connor.
Then,
Did you guys just hear her? Did you guys just hear her say Connor? Holy shit. I never knew that. Sorry, that I'm trying to figure this out real quick. Sorry, you guys, I'm sorry. You have to listen to her. I'm looking for the plant where he asked her about the plant. But I just realized she just said Connor. Chestnut. Connor Chestnut.
No, I was intoxicated. I don't fully remember. I'm going to say around 1:15 to 1:30ish. That could be wrong.
Sunday morning.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
Do you know who the sober brother was who gave you the ride?
No, but like if needed, I can text him. He would know. So we get home. There's popcorn. I obviously make just video dancing at 1. So I guess at first I thought it was 1, but it could have been 1:30. I don't know. I was intoxicated. I don't fully remember. I'm gonna say around 1:15 to 1:30ish. That could be wrong.
Sunday morning.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
Do you know who the sober brother was who gave you the ride?
No, but like if needed, I can text him. He would know. So we get home. There's popcorn. I obviously make just a bowl of popcorn for me and Lynn. And I put Vampire Diaries on. I don't know for sure, but I think around 20 minutes later, I came home and we just laid down and watched Vampire Diaries. When I first did this interview, I thought it was around 2 when I went to bed, but it could have been later.
So what was, at what time did she say that? Hold on. Here it is.
Hey, do you want to go to... Is one of Xana's best friends. We met through Xana. And she was I guess she wasn't at the house. She has 2 roommates. One of them I know was there, and they were just having, I think there's like 5 or 6 people total at the house, and it's like a 5-minute walk from my house. So I remember telling you, and like, do you want to go later? We just called it. They ended up staying, so me and ended up walking there. It's like a 5-minute walk, as with him. We go in there. It's obviously me and
And Lane.
I mean, best friend. And then
Hunter.
Twin.
And Hayden.
And then there's also, I believe, I'm almost positive.
Holy moly.
I guess like way later, but so I remember that walk from
2120.
Twin, and then there's
a
also
twin,
I believe. He didn't know why, and he was really worried about her. He's very protective. Like, he was like an older brother, like a big brother to me too. Like, he was super protective of all of us.
Ethan?
And then I believe it was me that went to the lodge. And I remember saying, like, hey, do you want to go to... Is one of Xana's best friends. We met through Xana. And she was, I guess she was at the house. She has 2 roommates. One of them I know.
She talking about Emily?
Was there, and they were just having, I think there's like 5 or 6 people total at the house, and it's like a 5-minute walk from my house. So I remember telling you, and like, do you want to go later? We just called it. They ended up staying, so me and ended up walking there. It's like a 5-minute walk, as with him. We go in there. It's obviously me. And I mean, best friend. And then Twin. And then there's also, I believe, I'm almost positive that's who is there.
All right.
Again, I kept drinking more. We were playing Rage Cage drinking game. So I don't know fully how much I had to drink. I obviously was probably drunk at this point.
Prior to that point, how much you had to drink? Up to the point that
I am looking for this plant.
So like after the nap, I had about 3 or 4 drinks of seltzers. I'm pretty sure.
I am gonna find that.
All the accounts that you have on,
Where she talked about the plant.
I was talking to the Detective Blaker about maybe you guys just deleting those accounts so that you're not getting hounded by, the trolls out there.
Yeah.
And he had a meeting this morning with a forensic detective, and he says, we prefer that the accounts not be deleted. If it would help, we could get your client's login information to Detective Mowry in the accounts. So that's just something.
Seeing nothing. So yeah, slept through the door and locked it because I was freaking out. Like I didn't know if there was a guy there. I don't know if anything was there or not. Like I don't know. I opened the door again. Again, I don't know if this is real or if
So you never left your room?
So after I heard Kaylee say that, from what I can remember is I opened the door and I do remember like looking up the stairs and then looking to the side, and I could kind of see the living room, but not fully. And I just remember like seeing nothing. So yeah, slept through the door and locked it because I was freaking out. Like I didn't know if there was a guy there. I don't know if anything was there or not. Like I don't know. I opened the door again. Again, I don't know if this was real or if my mind was just like playing with me. But from what I think I heard was someone was crying in the bathroom. And I think it was Kaylee. But I don't know. I couldn't tell. And I just...
Which bathroom?
The one me and Xana share on the second floor.
So the second time you opened
Yes. And again, I don't know for sure if this is in the bathroom, just like what I think happened from what I think I heard and all that. And then from after like the crying, I think I heard someone, like this guy's voice I had never heard in my life, just saying like, no, like it's okay, I'm gonna help you. But it wasn't in this nice way, like it was a weird, creepy way from what I think I remembered. And I'm pretty, again, I don't know anything for sure. I think I called out for Kaylee and Xana because it was the second floor, and I was just like, Kaylee, Xana. And so
Vampire Diaries going on before you went to bed.
So Vampire
That seed had been planted in your mind from a movie you had just been watching.
I mean,
went to sleep.
I guess it could have. It is vampire. Like, I guess I don't know, but it's like vampires. One of the vampires is always dressed in like a black suit, black pants. So like that could have been. I don't know.
When you were jolted awake, or when you became aware, is that normal for you? Do you wake up under those circumstances, or do you wake up naturally?
Well, I have like a lot of times, like my mom will come in, I like gasp because I get freaked out a lot, like really easily. But the fact that I jumped up so fast and locked my door like as fast as I did, not normal at all. I don't know, like something just came over me. It was like, get up, lock your door.
So something in your mind was processing. But
Yeah.
You don't know what it was.
I don't know what it was at all. I have no idea.
When that first happened, was Murphy barking?
I think so. I don't know for sure. I think I heard barking, but again, I don't know for sure. It could have been my mind, just like, I don't know.
When you opened the door the first time to look up and down the hallway
Mm-hmm.
and up the stairs, was Murphy barking?
No. Well, I guess I shouldn't say no. I don't know for sure, but from what
Do you remember if Murphy was barking?
I don't think so. I think he was only barking when Kitty said something, and then I think he left the house. Like I like, you know, when sounds get more distant and you can hear them getting more distant. That's what I thought I heard, and I think he went out of the house, like out the back door, which means that back door, I think it would have been open.
Is he a very skittish dog?
I mean, he's a puppy. I don't know if I would say skittish. I mean,
Is he easy to scare?
I don't think so. I mean, I don't really know for sure. I mean, only like I met him in August, so I wouldn't like know a ton. I guess you could say. I mean, he's still like a
So
puppy
I
in
have
a way.
to go back because maybe we can come back and talk some more. I know that Detective Sergeant Blaker has questions. I
God,
have
this is
some
gonna
more
kill me. I'm
questions,
gonna
but
find it though.
don't let that wait. I can
Yeah.
see the weight of like, I wish I could give them more.
Yeah,
What you're giving is important.
yeah.
So when you went to bed, who was still in the house? When you went to bed at 3:00, 3:10, but at 3:11, who was still in the house?
From what I know of,
Now remember, something I want you guys to keep in your mind is if she is looking at her phone and they are interviewing her in Boise at the times that she says is now an hour difference. So if it was 3:00, 3:10 in Boise, it was 2:10 in Moscow. I want you guys to remember that because that's very important. So I am going to find where the detective talks about the plant, and I think she basically gave him the answer of something as if no, it was like a nonchalant answer. Now, if she was drunk, like she's saying she is, maybe she doesn't remember. Now, real quick, before I head out today, I am going to go ahead and give you the pictures if you haven't seen them. Excuse me. Let me see if these are up on the screen. Yeah. Of Kaylee's room. I don't know if anybody shared these, but I'm going to share it. Everybody keeps asking me to send the unredacted pictures. It looks like to me Kaylee was asleep, left her phone on wherever, walked out of the room, and this is what her room looked like. Very clean, well kept, minimal. And then that was the picture. Obviously, that was redacted. Her room looks like it was never, I don't know, except for the jacket, which was kind of odd. There was a jacket there. I don't know if that was in fact the jacket that Maddie was wearing. No one ever says anything about it. Can't really see much. But that was Kaylee's room. There was the crate behind the door. A couple of IDs there. Laptop still on the desk. Like I said, there was a lot of equipment that was never taken from the house. A lot of tech. I don't think it was a robbery. I think they made it look like a robbery, perhaps. There was this door that people were talking about behind the desk. It looks like a little HVAC system entry. There was her debit card. Mac. If it was a robbery, they probably would have taken it. I don't know what that 53 was. Another laptop. Quite a bit of tech in the house that nobody walked out with. really made it to look like it was a robbery. Somebody ransacked the house looking for something. And then the check backpacks, journal. Obviously, that was right at the 3rd floor. I think that's like a little HVAC outlet. Some type of pharmacy pills. Don't know if she was packing up because there was a box of totes in the kitchen. Huge box of toes that were in the kitchen, the totes. Maybe a leaf that came from upstairs or outside the door. Her book of choices were pretty different too, just like Maddie's were in her closet. Kindle. A couple other personal things. Lots of accounts. Same pictures over and over again in this room. I don't know why they had so many pictures. Another bank card. Maybe an old bank card. Didn't mean it was being used at that time. Excuse me. Getting better, but gotta get through it. These are all duplicate pictures. I mean, there's 2,790 pictures here. There's a lot of tech that was left in that house. All right, so those are all the same pictures again. Nothing of significance. Doesn't look like the door was kicked in. And I thought Dylan said that she came home and let Murphy out before Kaylee came back. Could have swore I heard her say that in a statement. She took Murphy out before Kaylee came back. Now, there's a picture I'm going to show you that was pretty much all of the room pictures for that room. There's a couple of others, nothing massive or major. I don't think anybody came up that way. There was no evidence of that. And if there is, they haven't shared it. They sealed the doors off. That's typical. I don't see anything massive. And obviously there wasn't much evidence in this room because if you look at the evidence, it doesn't list much at all. I use that hair gel. All right. Her stuff wasn't gone through. If you noticed, her room wasn't rummaged. Not one bit. Okay, so I've got a picture I want to share with you. Thanks for holding and being here, everyone. So, yeah, anything I say and you guys are saying, yeah, she said that, you heard that too. I know that I have a okay memory. I've been taking honey. I've been doing chamomile. I've been doing soups. I've been doing everything in addition to what the doctor prescribed. Especially the cough syrup helps so much. Yeah, I'm doing it all. I mean, I was trying to get rid of it naturally, holistically, and then that didn't help much. But when you're in a crisis, I really do believe you need to see a doctor, guys. Okay, so the only room that I noticed that wasn't rummaged through was Maddie's. Did not look like it was rummaged through, and neither did Kaylee's. However, I want to say, why did the photographs things that weren't important and duplicates? I don't know. But the lady yesterday from Connor's video, he's amazing at uploading these videos. So if you haven't liked him or subscribed, definitely do that, because he uploaded an audio yesterday that we listened to that Officer House was going through individual by individual. There was a part 3 that he went through, and leaving, a young woman approaches him and she said this.
I have it on my phone because I ordered it through McDonald's, so I can kind of look up the approximate time when I left.
Yeah, that'd be great. I appreciate that.
Yeah, because I was doing laundry, and so I was all over the place, so I don't remember too much, but let's see if this thing will load.
And would that have been the first house on the left down here, or that?
Just the first one, like the closest one here. I just saw, because I was looking down. I was looking down because I was walking up to my car because it was on that slant.
Yep.
And so I looked down and I saw them, and I was like, that's kind of freaking weird. And so
she's talking about the 2 individuals that look like that were turned away from the house. Okay, and she's telling him,
that'd be great. I appreciate that.
What they look like. So let me see if I can get that description up here real quick.
Take your time.
I agree with her.
Back, and when I left, I'm guessing it's probably that house right over there that you guys are kind of looking at, or I don't know if it is, but there is like right where the other drive up is. That's where I parked my car. At the bottom part of that apartment, there's these 2 guys asking to be let in. Like, hey, I'm here. Can you let me in?
Gotcha.
And then when I was driving away, that they were walking away from the building.
Okay.
So I get in, but like they were calling someone to let them in for some reason.
Okay.
And that was a little strange, and so I don't know if that helps at all.
Do you recall what time that was?
I can look it up real quick. I
Sure.
have it on my phone because I ordered it through McDonald's, so I can kind of look up the approximate time when I left.
Yeah, that'd be great. I appreciate that.
Yeah, because I was doing laundry, and so I was all over the place, so I don't remember too much, but let's see if this thing will load.
And would that have been the first house on the left down here, or that?
Just the first one, like the closest one here. I just saw because I was looking down. I was looking down because I was walking up to my car because it was on that slant.
Yep.
And so I looked down and I saw them, and I was like, that's kind of freaking weird. And so These days. It's yes. How do you like it? Can I please? Yesterday.
And they would have been at that kind of lower door right in front of the parking lot then.
Yeah, that lower door part.
Yeah.
All it says is yesterday. Thank you. Let me look at one more thing, see if it's on there.
Sure.
Actually, I should have. I went to McDonald's, so I'm like, I could probably find out where.
Right.
Going to like receipts and some sort. Not that one. Come on. Sorry, I'm really trying here.
Nope, all right. While you're doing that, can I get your first name, please?
Obviously, that's redacted.
The stuff. Here, I have my ID as well.
Oh, perfect.
Right here. If you just want that right there.
She's the only one that's offered up her ID, guys. Drop a 1 if you think she's credible.
So the order was at 5:41 was when it was put in. So I think I left here about 5:30. Yeah, sounds about right.
And that would have been 5:30 p.m.?
PM, yep.
Gotcha.
And it was kind of weird because there was a whole bunch of people here for when I was coming back. So that's why I kind of remember a lot of people being. I was like, I don't remember that. Yeah, because I drove in, so.
Excellent. I'll hand that back to you. Appreciate it. Yeah, if you think of anything else.
And I'm just going to ask that if you have to work tonight. Do you know how long you guys going to be here and doing your little work?
If you need to get out for work, yeah, just kind of flag one of us down and say,
Okay.
can I squeeze by to get out for work? And
Yeah, that's okay. That's the only thing.
generally we can squeeze some cars through.
Yeah, I'm not trying to disturb you guys or do anything. I'm
Yeah,
just trying to get
we
to
understand
work.
life goes on, so we got to
Yeah.
let you guys get to where you need to get
Okay,
going. So
perfect. Yeah.
we will accommodate the best we can to get you out.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
Of course.
You have a good day. That's about all I can remember from that night. I mean, I think the person, all I can remember of wearing was like a tan jacket. One of the people. That is all I can remember.
All I remember is one of them wearing a tan jacket. Okay, this was the Corner Club Bar video that was put out, and now there's another portion that was put out a couple of days ago. Yeah, your little work now, huh? Let me out. Now, she was saying that somebody was knocking on the bottom where the basement of the house is, obviously where Bethany in the spare room was, alleged, obviously. And if they were on the phone with them and they were saying, hey, let me in, could it have been JD? Is that even possible? I mean, I'm sure there's more than one person on campus or around these people that knew him that had a tan jacket on. But when she said that, my ears perked up because I remember seeing JD wearing a tan jacket that night. Yeah. So, I mean, and honestly, Jack Showalter wasn't wearing a tan jacket that night. So, Grub Truck shows tan jacket. Does anybody remember who the tan jacket person was? Looks like a little tan or something. Yeah. I mean, that was a coincidence when she said that specific person. She said it was about 5 o'clock that night. 5 o'clock that night. Big guy at the Grub Truck. Oh, yeah. Well, I don't know if it, I mean, he didn't know them. Why would they be going over there? I just thought it was weird because she does say they were on the phone and saying, let me in. So they had to have known somebody in the house, let me in. So going back to Connor in the videos, there is an upload that he posted up here today. This is kind of long. If you guys want to go and venture off and watch this, I've only watched half of it so far. It's a little interesting, a little bit redacted, obviously. But it shows 1449 on. I guess he came in there per the documents for the MPD to relieve some of the officers. Yeah.
Yeah, man, go get some water, take a break, and come back whenever you need. So.
Hydrated, finish my lunch. Open still inside.
So what is in right here? Am I technically in?
You're just at the door, so I'm not inside right now. I was out.
What is this right here? In out.
Before 12:15, I didn't really know any times, but I was out at 11.
So who's in there right now?
Corbin.
Just Corbin?
Just Corbin.
All right, so I need to get their names when they come in.
When they come in, yeah. So out and still blank for him going out.
Okay. Well, I won't write anything down for you then. Do you want to run this up to Corbin?
Oh, yeah. We'll just mark me as the one then.
All right, what time is it? Hold on.
14, or sorry, 14.
No,
14.
it is 14:51.
Oh, I'm looking wrong.
You're 146?
Hey, Corbin, come in.
Moscow 167. You can show me on King Road.
There's one right here.
Now they're looking at the footprints. Oh, they're looking for electric things too. This is Rosinski's body cam. Now, it's kind of boring because he does just stand at the door and take note of who comes and goes. There's not a lot happening. Except when they walk up.
What's up, brother? You good? You all right? Yeah, no worries, man.
Wait to the Sunday.
I believe it, man. Any leads? No.
No, I'm not frustrated with what I got here, really.
Yeah.
No, I mean, there's some. Yeah, they're not really.
Right.
They just had some cameras on the front side.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm a little bit.
Gotcha.
You got the SD card here, anything else?
Yeah, I know the closest camera on campus is at Nez Perce and Blake. There might be a camera on Target Hall, but I'm not sure if that's Bruce.
Remember, I've always said that Gunderson was there. The document said, I believe Gunderson was there before Nunez arrived. His team had already went through the house. $14.52. Hold on a minute. Yeah. Wish they wouldn't have redacted this. Okay, in my humble opinion, Chief Fry never went down to the crime scene. Never went down to the crime scene. And he stated he didn't want to contaminate it. Now, I will tell you, looking at this entire day, people walked around this and contaminated this to pieces. That had to have been part of the cover up. They contaminated it 100%, all over the place. Yeah, none. Is that possible? Is that possible? I mean, how powerful is their families? Why did they partner with Othram? Why are they now the face of Othram that the feds were using, now have contracts with? And obviously now the families are suing WSU because of the criminal profiling. And they were saying they should have been responsible for Brian's hiring and firing. Think about it. Nothing is coincidental. And now it's taken away from the state and now it's federal. So if this was federal in the beginning of all this, that would make sense. But I don't think it was Ethan. If that was possible, he made a phone call. Guys, you're forgetting. I'm ex-military. When there's a problem, we call the chain of command. They take care of the problem. They develop a narrative. They follow through with the story. And that's the end of the story. That's just the way it is. The way Gunderson shrugged his shoulders yesterday when we were talking about it, and the way on the back porch when he's like, why didn't anybody, some of these officers are like, why didn't anybody call? Why didn't anybody call 911? Gunderson didn't care. He already knew what happened, in my humble opinion. He was reacting to their reactions. It's kind of like when I know something you don't, and then someone, goes and tells you, and then you're like, what? Gunderson already knew. He had to have. And let me tell you, Gunderson was involved in a couple of other issues in that area with the police department. Absolutely being investigated. I think he's the one, allegedly, that was being investigated. Gunderson. I think he was. Why? Well, you guys remember a little while ago the Idaho campus guy that was beaten up? Do you guys remember that one? Well, obviously, one of the cops that was involved or investigating allegedly was Gunderson. Yes. The frat party. I wonder if Gunderson's their, fixer guy. And then a while ago, there was this one that was almost a year ago, the football player that was attacked. Anybody remember this?
And new within the last few hours, Moscow police told Krem 2 they will not be pressing charges after an off-campus fight in February. Now, according to police, the fight broke out between a current student and multiple members of the football team. Now, we spoke with the student's dad, who said his son was knocked unconscious and had his nose broken. The Moscow prosecuting attorney went on to say, quote, "There is insufficient evidence to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that any criminal conduct happened." Up to 20 University of Idaho football players were under investigation. None of those now will face charges.
I mean, it was that one too, right? I mean, you can't make this up. So how many other stories or how many other reports are going to be involving Gunderson? I mean, how many of these are going to be? And then I just told you about the police arresting 4 suspects involved with the U of I campus break-ins all over winter break just a couple weeks ago, less than a month ago. Moscow patrol car was pictured at the University of campus. They got the picture of the patrol car going to arrest these 3 students and this one individual. They were arrested. All their names were there. And I made a TikTok about that too. Nothing is coincidental, folks. There's nothing. I'm not saying that they were a part of it. I'm just saying, was there something else going on? And then they made it look like it was a possible robbery. I mean, the mayor, within 24 hours, crime of passion or a possible robbery.
Not 1, not 3, but 4 individuals were arrested in Moscow, Idaho. Now, all this is public information. I'm going to share it all here with you and go over on it live on the YT today. But this is really important to take a look at these backgrounds and why they say frats were targeted. Now, you can read this for yourself. Here are the names. And of course, I went down this rabbit hole and did a little bit of research. They were arrested in December of 2025, and all their court dates are coming up. And according to the records, it does look like there's a plea deal. Now, one of these individuals was charged with a product usage and more. And of course, here's my disclaimer. All this is public information. It was reported by the news. It was reported by the local paper and the university paper. Now, according to this record, it looks like all of 3 individuals, plus the last one, they look like they could be receiving maybe plea deals. All of them have been charged with some type of burglary, theft, and obviously product. And of course, you'll see some names that we've seen before in relation to the Idaho. Not 1, not 3.
Now, what names did you see in relation to the IDAHO4? The prosecutors, not these 19-year-olds and 20-year-olds or whatever, how old they are, that were arrested. I didn't share their pictures. They're out there on social media. What I'm saying is the prosecutors are the same ones. Bill Thompson, Kathy Maybutt. Those are the names that you see over and over again. It's wild. Can't make this up. Now, there's one more video I wanted to share today before I go. I know it's been a long stream. This one's kind of interesting. This is an interview with a new person. This is Friends of Kaylee, and this was a phone interview that was done. And it's pretty fast. It's about 12 minutes, but listen to what she says. And obviously, shout out to Connor. Definitely go give him a like and a follow.
Get my recorder going so I won't miss anything that you said. So yeah, I spoke this morning with and she was telling me that you were probably like the closest person who spoke with Kaylee often.
Yeah, we were pretty close. I'm currently living in, I graduated from U of I last year, and so I moved back home. But me and Kaylee, we
Okay.
Yeah, so we spoke frequently. I mean, as much as one does, but it was mostly about moving and our plans and stuff.
Okay. Any information that like she has shared with you? Tell me about. She mentioned at one point that she thought someone was following her or stalking her. Did she ever mention that to you?
So no, she didn't ever mention anything recently to me. I mean, I've been hearing the rumors and stuff of just people saying that it was a stalker.
Mm-hmm.
And when I heard that, I have like a distant memory of her mentioning something, but I can't remember any details of it. Like I have like a weird memory of her like mentioning that something along those lines, but there's like nothing that I can remember to connect it. You know?
Mm-hmm.
And I was up there, and the last time I saw her was the week of October 3rd. And then before that was in June. It was her birthday. It was like June 14th, I think. So once I graduated, I only saw her 2 times, and it was June 14th and then the week of October 3rd. And I don't think it was either of those 2 weekends that she said something. I think it was like when I was in school, maybe. The end of my senior year. That was in like May.
So last year.
Yeah, but I said, like, I don't know if this is like, I can't remember any details, so I don't know if that would like happen or if it was just like people are saying all these things that I'm like grieving and maybe making it up. I just really don't know.
Right. Okay. Yeah, that totally makes sense. So was there any information that she shared with you? Anything concerning that she felt, or did she have any issues with anybody?
No, that's the thing. Like, me and her were like, with FaceTime, we talked mostly about like moving and stuff, but she didn't mention anything. I don't like, there was no one that like didn't like her or like anything like that, you know, like, I can't think of any person that like didn't like her or would have it out for her, you know?
Mm-hmm. What about did she ever share with you any, like potential interests in anybody, male or female, or anyone who was like hanging out with her or wanted to get to know her or anything like that?
No, she had her longtime boyfriend, and then when they broke up and I talked to her in October, she said that she hasn't been talking to anyone, like any like interest in anyone or anything. That's what she told me when I was with her in October.
Okay. So in October, when you last talked to her, to your knowledge, she wasn't dating anybody.
She wasn't dating anyone. She wasn't like sleeping with anyone. She wasn't seeing anyone. In October, it was like the week of October 1st. And yeah, she told me that she was not seeing anyone. So.
And what about?
I know.
Okay. And then what do you know about in their relationship and friendship?
They loved each other, and it was like they started dating when they were young.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason they broke up is Kaylee just felt like, you know, they've been dating for so long, and she was just almost too comfortable that there was no ill feelings there. It was just like she wanted to grow a little bit and she find herself on her own.
Okay.
And there was no bad beat between her and Gary. He's a great guy. And Kaylee thought the same.
Okay. And so did you, when you were here in October, like, did you ever spend time with at all?
When I was in October, they were broken up, and so no, I didn't see. I hung out with Kaylee, and Kaylee told me about just like, I asked her about her if they spoken or anything, and she said that he brought her coffee, and she just kind of was like, you know, we can't keep doing this thing where it's like, they were just comfortable with each other, and they were just in a relationship, and it was hard to get out.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, from what I heard, they cut ties in October. Like, when I was there in October, they had cut ties. They weren't talking any longer.
So when he said that he was bringing her coffee and that she was like, we can't do this anymore, was he like still trying to hold on to stuff, or?
No, at first, like, he just like loved her, I think, and you know, it was just hard for him, and so he was like bringing her coffee, just being sweet, and they had a dog that they shared during their relationship, and he had the dog, and he would see Murphy, the dog, but no, it wasn't like that. She was just kind of, you know,
Yeah.
You know? Yeah, so nothing bad there.
Okay. And
I'm going to play it back so everyone can hear what I thought was kind of odd. Right when she said, it's hard for us to be friends, I'm going to play it slower. Right here. Where have we heard this before?
No, it wasn't like that. She was just kind of, you know, like, it's too hard for us to even be friends just because I love you. So,
yeah.
You know? Yeah.
Okay. It's hard for us to be friends just because I love you. Where have we heard that before?
Yeah, so nothing bad there.
Okay. And did you know any of her other roommates?
Not really. I knew Maddie, just because her and Kaylee were best friends.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of knew Jenna, but I didn't know the other two roommates.
And when you came in October, I mean, were there a ton of people that would hang out at that house, like, all the time?
So I was staying at the house right next to it.
Mm-hmm.
Like on King Road, like in the backyard,
Yeah.
where you can see the house. I was staying at that house, and so she came over to that house a lot. I went over there once, and it was like during when we were all getting ready for game day, and there was just girls getting ready. It was just a lot of people living there, but it wasn't an unusual amount. And then when I was there, they didn't have like parties or anything, so I only went there that one time.
Oh, okay.
And I just went to Kaylee's room.
Okay. So nothing that you knew about Maddie or Zaina?
No, I really don't know. I didn't know Maddie that well, and I didn't know Zaina that well. I was really, really close with Kaylee, like my senior year. She lived like the next apartment down, and we had all of the same classes together and stuff. But yeah, I didn't know Maddie very well, or Zaina very well.
Okay.
Yeah.
And okay, are you still in contact with
Yeah, I'm actually with her right now.
Oh, you are?
Yeah, would you like to talk to her?
Yeah, can I talk to her?
Yeah. Hello?
Hey, this is Detective Vargas with the Moscow Police Department.
Hi.
Hey, so I spoke with your friend today, and she was talking about a time that you guys all had lunch with Kaylee.
Yeah, and like the stalker comment.
Yeah. Can you, I guess, tell me what you remember about that?
No, we've all talked about it, and I seriously can't remember anything, but that she made a little comment about it, and like I don't know if like we were kind of like changing stories, you know, like everybody like weird people texting you kind of type thing is what I think it was, and like no, I actually was stalker. Like that's what we remember, and maybe it was like on Facebook Messenger or like something weird like that where he was like texting her. But I don't remember like any details, anything other than just a weird memory of her saying something like that.
Okay.
And I think that the lunch was in September because I went up to Moscow once in September, and I think that's when it happened.
This last September?
Yeah, this last September.
Okay, but then you don't remember she shared any details about that or said anyone's name in particular?
No, I'm saying she had like a weird memory that like gave her.
Okay.
Yeah, I wish that I could remember more, but
Yeah, and then can you think of anything? Anyone that she had spoken about or was hanging out with, or?
no, just because since we graduated, we just like weren't with her that much, you know, and so like we just know like her day-to-day life, and so yeah, I don't know if anybody that didn't like her or kind of like sort of said like there was nobody that had it out for her that we knew of.
Okay.
Yeah.
And did you know her roommates?
No, I knew of Maddie. Well, I knew Maddie because of Kaylee, and then I knew you out there, not just the big and the grapevine stuff.
Okay. Can I get current addresses for both you and?
Yeah, so mine is.
Obviously, this is redacted.
And then I'll give this one back to her.
Okay.
Oh, hello.
Hey. Can I get a current address for you?
Yeah.
Okay. And then what's a good phone number for you? I have your number, and then is.
Yeah, I can tell you hers.
Is it so?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Alrighty. Well, yeah, we're just trying to reach out, to all of our close friends and just see if there's anything, even if it's just the smallest piece of information. Just see anything you can think of. If you do think of anything, definitely contact us and pass it on.
Yeah. Have you talked to at all?
No. Can I get that person's phone number?
Yes. 1 second. Are you ready?
Yeah. And how do you spell her last name? And what's her relation to her? Is she a student here or anything?
Yeah, so she is a student at U of I. She was also just one of my close friends, and she was a senior this year.
Okay.
And they hung out a lot this school year, and so she just have just since we didn't live there anymore, she might have more. I've been talking to a lot though, and from what I know, it doesn't sound like she knows a lot and doesn't have any ideas, but I mean, if you want to reach out.
Okay. Okay, I can definitely do that. And then if there's anyone else that you think of or any other information that you guys come up with or think of, definitely let me know.
Okay, I will.
Okay. Well, thanks for giving me a call back. I'm sorry for your loss.
Okay, thank you.
Yep, bye.
So that was basically the interview with two of Kaylee's, one very close friend, and they have just concurred, I believe, that I heard that this whole stalker theory is bogus. I believe there was no stalker, just like the media has been saying there's a stalker, there's a stalker. I think they are telling you a false narrative, in my humble opinion. And obviously, none of the four were being stalked by anybody, especially not Brian Koberger, per the MPD and the ISP at their post-conference sentencing of Brian Koberger. Now, hopefully we've debunked the stalker narratives. There was never a stalker in this case. I should bang my gavel, bang, bang, and it's done. End of deal. We will never talk about the stalker theory again unless somebody gives us factual proof. Okay, so yes, happy Friday, every single one of you. I'm going to be doing a live tomorrow, and that live, any donations, anything, etc., will be going directly to my mods, Les, Amanda B, and obviously they're all incredible, Caleb. So don't forget, tomorrow I will go live. I'm thinking about 11 or 12 a.m. And I will post that up later today. And we will also get back into one thing that I definitely want to talk about. We will be doing the rest of the IDAHO4 pictures. We still have to finish that. So this will be a part 3. And the holder of the secrets. It has just been wild, the information coming up. It's almost like a flood of information. So I don't know if you've seen the latest and greatest of the headlines about Brian Koberger, but obviously it has been debunked They are not moving Brian out of Idaho State Prison. And it's just wild. Every time a document comes out, the Gonzalez family shows up. Why do you think that is, guys? Why do you think he shows up anytime new documents come out? Why do you think that is? Is it to stay on track for the narrative, or is it because just got to make sure they follow through? What is the deal? I mean, I don't get it. I just don't get it. You know, we learn some new things every time he comes back and talks about this. We learn something new. He slipped up and said they. We heard that. And now why is it Kaylee and Maddie were targeted? Because they were unalive first? Which do you think it might be? Distraction. To keep people from looking for the truth. To push more BS. I love your answers. I mean, let's think about it logically. Why would somebody be this heavily involved to make sure that we stay on the narrative and then have a Freudian slip and say they? Don't you think he's going to get some backlash from the powers that be that prosecuted this case? What are you trying to do to us? Okay, in regards to the 4, someone asked me share some public details about the 4 that were arrested at yeah, money and control. I agree. Somebody has asked me to share a little bit of information on the sorority or the fraternities that were involved with 3 of the students being part of this fraternity. And there are obviously chapters online that show quite a few of these people. I don't know if they've taken them off yet. I was a little shocked myself. You can go and look at the it was an Argonaut for the robberies at this fraternity. And let me just pull these up real quick for you. I'm sure they're getting a lot of, and this is being buried, by the way. It's not on mainstream media. It is not released all over. I mean, these crimes took place in December of all time. And then they just are now in the phase of going to hearings, preliminary hearings. Theta Chi being involved in this, 3 of them. So here it made MSN. It did. 4 arrested for the burglaries. Here are the 4 names that you can see. And let me come over here and see if I can just find any confidential, any public information. I'm sure there's plenty out here. Most of these are private. Most of these are privated. I don't see anything for this guy. That doesn't mean that he's not around, but, the Lewiston Tribune reported on this also. And obviously you have to subscribe to get that information. Blaker is the one that is doing the investigation. He's been on it. Haven't seen anything in the news. And let me see if I can find the real. All right, let's just see. University of Idaho. Let's see if I can find their. And it is. Hold on a minute. Somebody is saying it is a different fraternity. Huh. Well, which one is it? Oh, the burglary in progress. According to our records, they are members of the okay, so they were trying to break into the Phi Delta Theta fraternity. They were part of the Theta Chi fraternity. Wow, that's wild. Shh. Oh my goodness. Where is the one that I saw? Hold on a minute. I don't think he's posted in here. No, I don't see him. Let me go back one. Somebody was also asking, what's the status? So the status is they're all in the middle of, obviously, court hearings, and they all have court dates coming up in February. I don't see any public social media for two of these individuals. I don't see, other than maybe one. Obviously, I don't have a subscription to Moscow Pullman. And it looks like this guy is Grant Abendroth of Bonner's Ferry. So there is one. I don't know any other social media. I haven't looked, really, honestly. I wasn't going to go down that rabbit hole. But you guys can definitely go and check out social media. You basically know names. Let me look and see if this guy's got some photos, friends. Yep. Interesting friends. He's a Moscow native. Huh. All right. Hold on 1 second. I'll share this. But you guys, now that you have names, you can go and you can take a look. So it's not like, I don't think this is really part of the story. Now, if these guys were, oh, he's friends with him too. And he's friends with this guy. I wonder how they all met each other. I wonder if they're all locals. Yeah, from Moscow area. Let me see if this guy's on Facebook too. Yep, they're all from the Moscow area. All basketball players, it looks like. Maybe they know each other from basketball. That's what I'm wondering. They all have that in common. Interesting. One of the kids that got popped. Interesting. Yeah, you guys can go down that rabbit hole. I really appreciate you being here. Stay tuned. I'm going to come back with more pictures from the download drop that was redacted. I feel like the diluted blood is from the killer falling into the beer pong table and water got in their hands or the knife. It's possible because remember, there was blood that was said that was in the sink per the body cams. And obviously, if they were trying to wash something off, definitely some type of cleanup took place. But remember, diluted blood can also be when you are stabbed and aspirating and it's mixed with other body fluids. So that could be diluted as well as anything spilt. So make sure that you guys thank my mods on the way out. I appreciate you for hanging in there with us. It's been a long stream, another long day. Friday I will be live. I'll see you tomorrow. Everyone, be well.
chasing shadows in the night. Words echo silent where I hide. Every mirror shows a stranger's eyes, searching for the part of me that's mine. But the sky ignites a spark inside, burning down to where